on the side, and I was like, I want to see myself better.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, I get it. Well, we spoke about online identity, so now it's a
Yeah, exactly. You were
different
talking
vibe.
about online. I was
Okay,
inspired.
tell me what inspired you to go and like study astrophysics. Like, how was your thinking back then?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I was inspired at a young age to study physics, and it was like, okay, am I going to go in one physics area or in a different physics area? And I decided for astrophysics. I guess it was because I liked the name.
Yeah.
Um, I liked looking up at the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked the idea of, hey, that's really like out there, and we can look through a telescope and kind of verify what our theories are saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, it felt attractive in that way. So I was interested to know better about where we are in the universe.
Fair.
Even though now I see that, um, we can't really know. We just look through certain technologies and we infer things from those technologies. But yeah, it's a beautiful study of like what is actually reality. So
Aha, yeah, yeah. Exciting, very exciting topic. I think that would be something I would. Yeah, I wanted to be a cosmonaut when I was little. So I think, yeah, that would be maybe the direction I would go if I remembered that initial dream. I resonate with what you're saying, knowing where we are, what's going on here, and from
yeah, it's
perspective
like
of other
there's always
places.
this story about how many light years away everything else
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yeah.
And just like diving more into that, like how is that real? How does that apply to us? And then, fascinating things about our ideas behind the speed of light. And like one thing I find fascinating is like the quantization of like space,
Mm-hmm.
like Planck space and Planck time. And the other thing that I find really fascinating is how for light, it like the universe is a point for light.
Yeah.
In the reference frame of light, it takes 0 time to reach anywhere. So there's no distance for light.
Yeah.
And that for me is really fascinating because, in essence, like the whole universe is united and it all exists in a point in the reference frame of light. It can go, 5 million whatever miles away or 5 million light years away. And for the light, it takes the same amount of time to get there as it takes to get to my eyeball from the computer screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what unites us on such a core level.
It's crazy to imagine that in some sort of different dimensionality that exists.
And okay, then what is black hole?
Well, a black hole is a place that unites the super small with the super big, right? So a black hole is where the gravity is so large that outside of an event horizon, light cannot escape. Oh no, inside of the event horizon, light cannot escape. That's why it becomes black.
Yeah. So it eats light.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The gravity is so big that the light cannot escape from the pool.
Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing?
I don't think it's either a bad thing or a good thing. It just is.
Yeah.
It could be bad, if you want to continue living your life, but you get too close to the event horizon. then you could consider it to be a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like end, right? It's death. That's, I think, maybe
It's what?
like if we are light, if we are like particles of light, then going into black hole is death, or death
No,
is no.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I would say that nothing really changes for the light.
Ah,
I like this is quite philosophical what happens in a black hole, okay?
yeah.
Because essentially you could say that the black hole, after a certain number of, billions or trillions of years, it will stop existing. And then the light will continue to travel as it was traveling before. But for the light, that those trillions of years didn't, weren't experienced.
Mm.
Like the light is traveling outside of a black hole, and then it just stops for trillions of years. But for the light, those trillions of years don't actually take any time.
Yeah.
And then it just continues to travel after the black hole stops existing. I don't know.
I like
It's
how you're saying it. Yeah, it's like a soul being incarnated on this earth, if we want to put it this way. It's like it's constantly ongoing. It's not like whether you die or in this form and then are alive in another form. The soul is always on. Um, okay.
Yeah, I really liked the creativity that the people behind that movie Interstellar used for the black hole.
Oh, I see.
They actually entered a black hole, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a black hole, wormhole sort of weird thing, and it made it possible to, I don't know, to move within, like break the barriers of time, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then he was actually talking to his daughter back in time, and that's what was actually telling her what she could do to solve the problem in the future. And like, weird. Okay, so we can do that with black holes. It's just an idea, but
it's great. A time traveling machine that we really, really wanted to discover is right there in the thing that we fear so much. I think it's funny.
But I think that for you to actually get access to that, you have to forego your attachment to your life.
Uh-huh. Pretty clear. Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to just offer yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, maybe something comes, maybe nothing comes, and you die.
Mm-hmm.
Because the idea is that the difference in gravity of your feet to the difference in gravity on your head is so big that it will actually pull your body apart.
Interesting. Dangerous stuff. Are you afraid of death?
Poof. I would say yes,
Mm-hmm.
I am. Yeah. Why? Because it's uncertainty, because you leave here what we've learned to enjoy. You leave here, relationships. It's kind of like there's no return.
Mm-hmm.
At least we understand. We learn, we feel. It's kind of like, you jump from the top of a building. There's no real going back, right?
Yeah, that decision. Yeah.
And the same thing goes, like, jumping from a very high place. Mm-hmm. We have a thing. It's like it's inside of us to be afraid. Mm-hmm. This is why highlining is such a difficult thing, right? So there's slacklining, which you do it close to the ground, and then we call it highlining when we put it like between two buildings or something.
Yes.
And you can maybe slackline really well, but when you get up on a high line, it becomes very, very intrinsically like fear instilling, right? And even when I remember being up on high lines before. I did this here in Cascais and such. And I remember being also here in Ediceda. I would be up on the line and I'm like, okay, I want to jump. And I'm like,